I'll be completely honest, I'm just going to rant about the two biggest problems in the industry today. One, the new changeover to refrigerant, and two, private equity. For the year 2025, we are moving away from the 410A refrigerant to A2L refrigerant. What is that? That is R32 and 454B. On one hand, you have R32. This has been used by the Daikin Corporation worldwide for over 10 years. On the other hand, you have 454B, which is actually a mix of R32 and 1234YF. 68.9% of R454B is actually R32, meaning in order to create this refrigerant, this blended refrigerant, because it starts off with a 4, they have to purchase R32 in order to make their new A2L refrigerant. Now, 454B is a refrigerant that pretty much everybody else except for Daikin, Amana, and Goodman went to when they had to switch over to A2L refrigerant. Everybody's wondering which one is better. Well, it's R32, but not by much, so it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. But here's what matters. Manufacturers have been able to keep up with the 454B. Now, let's be honest, this 454B is still pretty much in the beta stage, and the equipment that goes with it really should be too. Let me just tell you my own experience between the two refrigerants. R32 systems, I've been putting them in since like October of last year, especially with the mini splits. We got those before the big split systems. Split systems really haven't had a problem. I haven't had to go back on any of them except for one house that was too hot and it was too difficult to set the charge when the inside was too hot, so I had to go back and set it when everything cooled down, but that's standard. 454B on the other hand, ooh, do I have a story for you. February of this year, we put in a Carrier 454B unit because the customer specifically wanted Carrier, which is fine. I don't care. Buy what you want. It's your property. You do what you want. Here's the problem that I have. April 2nd, I get a phone call saying that that compressor went out. That is a month and a half, which is no time at all. These systems are under warranty for 10 years. You think they're gonna last a little bit longer than 10 years and then break so they could sell them a new one due to planned obsolescence? No, well, 1 month. That's how long it lasted. So the any reputable company, we're behind our product and we say, hey, we're gonna replace the compressor, we're gonna get it all fixed up for you, and we start the process. We order a compressor, it takes 2 weeks to come in. Fine, I understand, it's new, it took a little bit of time, whatever. So I go to Carrier to pick it up, and I'm like, okay, I have R32 in the truck because I'm a Daikin dealer, I don't have the 454B. Hey, I need 454B in order to do this compressor change out correctly. Do you know what they told me? They said, we don't have any. Hold on a second, you mean to tell me that you sold me a system that only lasted a month and a half, and you've given me a new compressor for it, but you don't have the refrigerant that you are now supposed to be selling for this equipment? They're like, yeah, we just don't have it. I'm like, fine, whatever, it sucks. Let me go track it down. I call 3 other supply houses, nobody's got it. I call the 4th supply house, they say they have one in stock, but it is being held by another guy. Luckily, I knew that guy. I called him and said, hey, I need this refrigerant, can you release it to me? He said, yeah, I don't need it, go ahead and take it. I bought it for $500 mid-April, which not being able to get it is one thing, but there was $500 for 20 pounds of refrigerant. That's the cost of doing business. We buy it, go on, we replace the compressor. Do all the work, pressure test, vacuum test, all the good stuff, get it up and running, it runs horribly. Not the compressor, but the system itself. Why? Because the TXV was bad in the system. That TXV was a month and a half old also. Looking at the gauges, I'm like, look, we gotta shut it down, we gotta order a TXV, and we gotta come back. Go to order a TXV, they don't have any of that either. I'm like, great, we have this equipment that we literally cannot fix. What the f is going on? So we order an air handler, the same exact air handler, we pull the TXV out of that one, and then we take it and we go fix it, and we're gonna order a TXV to go into this new air handler and hopefully sell it again. We get that other TXV replaced, the system is running perfectly. Customer's happy, took a ton of money from us in labor in order to fix it, but you gotta do what you gotta do for your customers. Now let's go back a second. It was mid-April when I bought that 20-pound drum of 454B for $500. We get an email on May 6th, buy 2 cylinders of R454B with any pallet purchase, $1,250 per cylinder. This new refrigerant is now making R22 cheap. Do you know how impressive that is? That wraps up the story for the 454B system that I had to work on, which was not fun. Okay, now let's talk about private equity. Private equity's been slowly creeping into my area of operation over the last decade, but late last year there was a massive purchase of companies made by out-of-state private equity companies. And you know what? I thought that was fine. They're gonna come in with their extremely high prices and their egregious sale tactics, and they're gonna push away a lot of the people, and those people are going to find family-owned companies, and they're gonna do business with us instead of these, you know, only interested in return based companies. What I didn't expect was the flood of horrible information to my area. These people are train dealers, like national account train dealers, okay? Which means they're using 454B, which is fine, but here's the problem. They're going in and they're telling people that the stuff that we're using is horrible, it's never gonna run right, and they should not buy that. They should only buy what they're using. So now I'm here explaining to people that it's like, okay, their stuff uses our stuff. How can they sit there and say that their stuff is better than mine when in order to make theirs, they have to buy my to make it? That's lying to people in order to close a deal, and I hate that, okay? I believe in ethics. In order to run a business, we need sales. Plain and simple, you cannot run a business without sales. You can't name a business that doesn't need sales. It is a real thing. Sales is a dirty word, I know, but at the end of the day, I have to work for someone who goes out and sells a service to a consumer so that they can bring money in to give to me so I can buy my kids Capri Sun. But I believe in ethics. I am here to help someone. I am not here to ruin their lives for the next 10 years as long as their warranty is. These companies are coming in using scare tactics in order to push sales. Instead of correctly informing the customer as to what is going on in the industry, they just say, hey, this good, that bad, go with this is what I have. If you go with that, you're gonna have a horrible time and it's never gonna work for 10 years. 10 years because that's how long the warranties are, so I'm going off of that. And by the time I get to come and talk to them with all the correct information, they're already scared of what I have to offer because of what that last person said and how impactful they were. I'm trying to inform someone so that they can make a good decision for themselves and their families, but it's backfiring on me because I'm just trying to be a good guy and I'm not a very pushy person. And what sucks is these private equity companies are coming in with these massive marketing budgets, just flooding the entire area so that every single thing you see online when you go to look up something is them or one of their companies. Like earlier today, I was a third bid at a house and a customer was nice enough to show me the other two bids that they got. Both of those bids were from the same company with just different names. Like you have the big name here, okay? And then you have these other two companies. These companies that were only bought within the last year, so they're still running around with those old company trucks. She didn't actually get 3 quotes. She only got 2. And the salesman like changed the price by like $100. I'm also getting beaten up by price, okay? I don't like the price as much as y'all do. But at the end of the day, this stuff got really expensive really fast. We had to retool a lot of stuff for this new refrigerant. I understand these customers' concerns. I know why people want to get so many bids is because everything got so outrageously expensive. Like there's nothing under 10 grand anymore. What really sucks is I'm going against this massive company. I'm not going against another family-owned company. I'd feel better about it if I was losing to a friend who owned another company. That's totally different than losing to somebody who's just trying to beat the market up for a return. This year has been extremely rough. It got off to a horrible start with the refrigerant change, all the equipment issues. We had to buy a bunch of freaking tools. And I'll be completely honest, if I didn't have YouTube, this channel, this whole thing I have set up, the quick reference cards that I offer, and if I didn't have my channel sponsors, then I'd probably be a little bit worse off. Thank you to all the companies I worked with in the past. I love you all. You have been great. I don't have this crazy YouTube following with massive influencer money, so thank you to all of my audience that comes back and watches my videos, because without y'all, I wouldn't be able to make this a reality, and this actually does help keep a roof over my kids' heads. I guess I could follow up that like heartfelt thank you with a shameless plug. You know, if you want to support the channel, then go pick up one of these HVAC quick reference cards, link down below, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for everything coming out, and you know, honestly, just thank you for watching. I'll see y'all next time.